Well, hello there, Uber Tuberubers and Tuberettes alike. It's a short talk in the trailer park with an old guy. And got back from church a little while ago and decided to lay down and just see if I could rest. I got a brand new bed in the back. A friend of mine, a lady, we went out in her pickup and picked up a brand new twin bed. And I found out something interesting. I was unaware of this. All these years, I've been sleeping on the floor since I was in my early 20s. And anyway, all that time I presumed that the kind of bed I really like is firm or extra firm. So I tried both those out. It was kind of like, okay, it's all right. But the salesman guy, he says, why don't you try that one over there? It was he called it a medium. And I laid down on that thing and I just went, whoa, this is like way better. So I tried to sleep last night in my brand new bed, but the same friend who helped me get the bed. Actually, she helped me drag this thing in here and get it set up too. So, a lot of thanks to her. But anyway, before she went out the door yesterday, that mini split system down the hallway, she reset the stat thing for me so that it would be supposedly auto, so that if you set it at a certain temperature, and if it's below that, it'll heat. If it's above that, it'll cool. And I don't know what setting it was actually on. It took me a while. It was like 12:45, maybe 1 o'clock, for me to finally figure out why I wasn't sleeping. Doing the rotisserie chicken thing. So anyway, once I had a chance to warm up, hello, it was fine sleeping, but it's a good bed. But yeah, this surgery thing's coming up this week as of Wednesday, and I'm really not looking forward to it. That one thing, I think I mentioned this the other day. They want me to shave. I thought, why? But so if I do some videos inside the joint, the hospital, I'll be in there for 3 to 5 days, as I understand it. And I guess we'll find out later. But the I just I hope that clears everything up. I, it's like it's going to be weeks and weeks to recuperate and get strong enough to walk around and do stuff. So I don't even know how this is going to go. But I'm going to have to be learning patience, I guess. That would be one thing. Speaking of patience, the other day I did that little video in the hospital, and it was ridiculous. My appointment for the MRI was at 4 o'clock. It was like 4:20. I walked over and asked the lady, "Hey, what's going on? Is there a hiccup?" And she said, "Well, yeah, we're waiting for a message back from your doctor." And I said, "Wait a minute. You're telling me you guys called over there and you're expecting to hear back today?" I said, "You're going to die of old age first." So I said, "Would you prefer?" This is like 400 and something yards away, maybe more. I said, "Would you prefer me to just walk over? I mean, it's just a 5-minute walk, and pick up a hard copy of what you guys need, the clearance, because it had to do with contrast and not contrast. I don't even know." But so we finally got all the hoops done. So I'm laying in the old clank, clank, bang, bang machine, that MRI. That's a noisy sucker. And anyway, I had some Tylenol in the truck, but I didn't take a Tylenol before I went in. And that left shoulder of mine was really talking to me. And so anyway, the lady kept pulling me out of the box and saying, "Hey, quit moving around in there. You're moving too much." It's like, I'm breathing, all right? And I was trying to breathe as shallow as I could. And I might have mentioned all this before. But at any rate, it was a cartoon. I finally got out of that thing. And I'm not looking forward to my next episode in an MRI machine. That's just, yeah. I think that's now the third one I've had in my life. And I think I'm all dosed up on that, I hope. I haven't heard a word back from the doc or anybody about that left shoulder. That's what they were zeroing in on. And what she was complaining about was my chest was rising and falling about, eighth of an inch or a quarter of an inch. I couldn't move my arm. They didn't want me to, I mean. But boy, that thing was, it was crazy over there. And so at one point in the machine, I was doing this, and I just went, oh, could try to stretch my neck a little bit. And bad move, shouldn't do that kind of stuff. And I thought, come on, man, this is ridiculous. So finally, when I popped out of the machine, the grumpy lady wasn't around. I don't know what happened to her. But the other young lady, she said, "Okay, it's fine. We got all the stuff we need." And I said, "Yeah, there's got to be some kind of margin of error here, for like when we say don't move, a little smidgen of a wiggle here and there." But anyway, never mind that. So we're gonna do the old surgery, and it's gonna be a laminectomy slash fusion, and I don't know. It just sounds like kind of a sketchy deal to me. But the doc was pretty serious about him wanting me in a bed, not on the floor, and so that's covered. That's in the rear view now, and I just thought I'd drop in, visit with you guys. Hope you're all doing all right. It's probably another big news day, except I can hardly keep up with the news anymore. For one thing, I can't tell what's real and what's not. But there's so many huge stories erupting all the time. It seems like just like when you listen to the rain, all them drops coming down, kind of try to separate out the individual drops. Well, you can, but it's just frustrating to realize that at 66 I cannot keep up with what's actually happening in the world. So I'm not really going to comment on anything today, except to say that the sermon down there today at church could have used a little work. The pastor was out of town, and so one of the elders did a sermon, and I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't care for it. It was kind of like this long guilt trip thing. Sort of like, who are you? In other words, what's your identity? And, we can deal with that. In Christ, we have an identity, a new identity. I identify now as a creature of God who has been adopted into the family of God, the church, the living body. And so he was on that page. You are part of the body. You're doing a riff off of Paul there, so that was okay. But then he asked the second thing, well, what are you doing? Or what are we supposed to be doing down here anyway? That's the way I understood it. And, the answer he gave back was just, more like kind of like try to get more involved or something like that. And I just thought, yeah, it didn't exactly blow my socks off. But he wasn't speaking to keep me happy, I hope. Anyway, it's one of those things where, you go down, some weeks is good, some weeks is, you can use a little improvement. And so today was one of those. And I just want to encourage you to keep on rocking. And I'll try to keep you posted a little bit on the old guy front about health and wealth and disasters and all that stuff. But I don't know how many videos I will do from inside the joint. But I'll at least try to do something while I'm in there. And I hope to have a quick and speedy escape from there. They said 3 to 5 days, and so, well, that's what I'm kind of counting on. And I guess we'll find out if things get, a little weird beyond that. Have a good day and run to win. What's the other option after all.